Okay, so are you curious, guys? Are you curious about how companies like Amazon, Netflix, or Flipkart handle massive amounts of data every second? So do you want to build high-paying career in data engineering using Microsoft Azure? So in this video, I will clearly explain what is data engineering, what is ETL, what data engineers actually do, and a quick introduction to Azure Data Factory. So let's get started. So what is data engineering? Data engineering is the process of designing, building, and managing systems so that will collect, store, and transform data so that businesses can analyze it and make decisions. Okay, so this fancy definition may be confusing you. So this is nothing but, so what is data engineers? What data engineers will do means they are going to collect the raw data. They are going to collect that raw data and they will be storing in our Azure cloud, and they will be transforming the data into useful data. So converting raw data into useful data. So whose work it is? It is data engineers work. Okay, so that why it is the process of designing and building and managing systems. Okay, so that will collect. Okay, so we are going to build we are going to design and build ETL pipelines. Okay, so that they will collect and store and process the data. Okay, so in simple words, data engineers are going to build the data highways. They are going to build data highways. On top of this data highways, data analysts, data scientists drive. Okay, so on top of this highways, they are going to drive. Yes, data engineers build the data highways, data scientists and analysts drive on those highways. So every company today generates data from websites, mobile apps, banking transactions, IoT devices, social media. So we are going to collect the data from all these applications. Okay, so but what is the problem? This raw data is very messy and you will be having trillion, million, billions of rows. Okay, so if a leadership are going to will not go through this million trillion records, right? They want aggregated data, they want valuable data, they want clean data. So whose work it is? It is data engineers work. Okay, so data engineering makes the raw data clean. Okay, so we are going to clean the data, we are going to make it structure, we are going to make that data reliable, and we will be making the data ready for analysis. Okay, so without data engineering, analytics is impossible. Okay, so that's why data engineering is very critical. Okay, yeah. Gopi, so you are saying data engineers work is to build ETL pipelines. What is ETL process, Gopi? Yes, I will explain you neatly. ETL means extract, transform, load. ETL means extract, transform, and load. Okay, so let's understand simply. So extracting means collecting the data. Okay, so we collect data from different sources. So it can be databases, it can be CSV files, JSON files, or APIs, cloud storage, or applications. So we will be getting the data from many data sources. Okay, so these are the data sources. We will be building the pipeline to collect the data from these data sources. So that is extraction phase. So in ETL process, first phase is extraction phase. We are going to fetch the data from these sources. Okay, and the next one is transform phase. In transform phase, what we are going to do? We clean and modify the data. So we collected raw data here. So now we are going to clean the data and we modify the data. Modifying and cleaning means removing null values, removing duplicate values, joining 2 or 3 tables, changing the data types, applying business logics. Okay, so these all comes under transform phase. So they will be giving some requirement, right? As per requirement, we will be transforming the data. And at last, loading. So loading means finally we load the processed data, right? So we have cleaned the data, right? As per the requirement, we have processed the data. That data we will be loading into target system. So the target system can be data warehouse, SQL database, SQL data lake, analytics system. It can be anything. Okay, so it can be anything. This entire flow is called ETL: extract, transform, and load. Okay, so in modern cloud system, sometimes it's also called as ELT. ELT means first extract the data, then load the data. On top of this load data, transform it. That is ELT. Don't worry. Whenever you join this course, I will explain what is ELT, what is ETL, when to use ETL process, when to use this ELT. So I will explain everything. Don't worry. So what does a data engineer do? So a data engineer builds data pipelines. He automates the data movement. Okay, so manually we should not do, right? He is going to automate data movement, cleans and transform the data. He works with databases. He optimizes the performance. He ensures data quality. He works with cloud platforms. So this is what data engineer will do daily. So everything we are going to discuss in our course. So they use tools like Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Data Lake, okay, Delta Lake, SQL, Python, Fabric. So everything we are going to discuss in our course, everything from scratch to advanced. Python, SQL, PySpark also I will be teaching from starting, I mean from scratch. If you don't know Python, if you don't know SQL, no worries. Okay, I will be teaching you. Okay, so and yes, data engineering is one of the most in-demand career globally right now. Okay, so yes, why cloud for data engineering? You can watch this case. So I have explained what is on-premise and what is cloud neatly in our first video. Here I will be giving short introduction. So earlier companies uses on-premise servers. On-premise servers means, so everything is owned by so companies. What are the problems with them? Expensive hardware, maintenance issues, limited scalability, manual management. So now everything is moved to cloud. So cloud gives scalability, high availability, pay-as-you-go pricing, easy integration. Okay, so Gopi, what is scalability? If you want to upscale or downscale your services, you can do within one click. So high level, because we have more than 60 data centers. So in Microsoft Azure, we have more than 60 data centers. So services are easily available. And pay-as-you-go pricing model means, so if you are using this data factory, so you will be charged if you use it. If you don't run anything, if you don't create anything, you will be not charged. So that is what pay-as-you-go pricing model. So if you subscribe for this Azure Data Factory, they won't charge you monthly, weekly, or quarterly. So they will charge you if you use it. So that is pay-as-you-go pricing model. And reduced infrastructure management, because so everything is managed by whom? Microsoft people. Okay, so and Microsoft Azure is one of the top cloud platforms used worldwide. So why this Azure is popular, I have explained in first video. You can go through it. So why? Because this we are using, so in our companies everywhere we are using Microsoft Windows systems, right? And we are using Microsoft products like SQL, Power BI, Active Directory, VS Code, everything. Okay, so all are from Microsoft, and Azure also from Microsoft. So integration is very easy. Integration is very easy, and it supports pay-as-you-go pricing model. You will be charged for what you have used. So that's why this Azure is so popular in IT industry. Okay, so now, so I told you in Azure we will be using Data Factory, Databricks, SQL, and Azure Data. So everything I will be explaining in detail in each video. I will be explaining. In today's video, I will be explaining this Azure Data Factory. Okay, so you know what is factory means. So normally factory means sugar cane factory or cement factory or any factory. So what will be the input? Input will be raw material. What will be the output? Usable products. Here also saying data factory, what will be the input? Raw data. What will be the output? Usable or valuable data. So with the data factory, what we can do? We can collect the raw data and we can make it useful for business growth. So that is what this Azure Data Factory will do. Okay, so this is a end-to-end ETL tool. Okay, so Azure Data Factory is a cloud-based data integration service provided by Microsoft Azure. So ADF helps us build data pipelines. Okay, so in the cloud we can build data pipelines. Data pipelines means ETL pipelines. Okay, so what can we do with ADF? So we can copy data from one place to other place. So moving the data from one place to other place. So that is first phase, extraction phase. And we can transform the data. Okay, so inside Data Factory we have data flows. Using data flows we can transform the data. That is second phase. And third phase is loading the data. So that is also comes under here. Copy data between systems means now loading the data into target. So we can extract, transform, and load the data. And apart from these, we can orchestrate workflows. Orchestration means how the data has to flow, in which path, at what time data has to flow. So that is orchestration workflows. And we can schedule pipelines. No need of manual run. We can schedule at what time pipeline has to run. So we can do this scheduling also. And we can monitor and manage also. So monitoring means whether this pipeline has run or not, at what time it started, at what time it ended, whether it is successful or not. So everything you can monitor. And you can handle errors also. Okay, so we can send alerts whenever some pipeline failed. We can send alerts also. Okay, so that owner will come and fix it. Okay, so that's why this Azure Data Factory is so popular. We can build entire ETL pipeline. We can orchestrate it. We can schedule it, and we can monitor everything. Okay, so that's why it is more popular. And what are the core components of ADF? Data Factory means, so the main components of Data Factory are pipeline, activity, data set, linked service, integration runtime. What is pipeline, Gopi? Pipeline is nothing but logical grouping of activities is nothing but pipeline. So logical grouping of activities. What is activity? Activity is a individual task inside a pipeline. Okay, so activity means it will perform single task. If you will be having copy data activity. Copy data activity means you want to copy data from one place to other place. That is copy data activity will do. Delete activity means, so you want to delete some folder or file or table. So delete activity will perform this. Okay, so like this, we have many activities. So each activity has individual responsibility. Logical grouping of these activities is nothing but pipeline. So one more important component is data set. What is data set? It represents the structure of your data. Data sets represents structure of your data. So which structure, whether it is a table, whether it is a file, JSON file, CSV file, or Parquet file, which format your data is. Linked service, this is very important. So linked service is a connection string. It is a connection string between Data Factory to other services. Other services means it can be Databricks, it can be SQL database, it can be on-premise storage accounts, it can be Amazon S3 bucket, it can be Google Cloud Storage, it can be anything. We can easily connect with Data Factory, Azure Data Factory, with all these services using linked services. Linked service is connection string from Data Factory to other services. Okay, Gopi, all good. But from where you are getting resources? So ADF is running pipeline means we have to get resources, right? From where we will be getting all the resources? From integration runtime. Integration is the runtime is nothing but compute engine. It is a compute engine in Data Factory. It provides all compute and resources. Okay, so yeah. So Gopi, why do we use Azure Data Factory? I have explained everything, but so I will give short points. So it is fully managed, no server management. It supports hybrid integration. Hybrid integration means both on-premise and cloud. And it is scalable, so you can upscale or downscale very easily. It reduces development time. It integrates easily with other Azure services. It supports monitoring and alerts. It is enterprise ready. So cloud native, no infrastructure maintenance, drag and drop. Yes, no coding is required. So if you don't know coding, no problem. Still we can build ETL pipelines. So ADF doesn't require any coding, no code tool. Okay, so it is just a drag and drop, copy data activity, drag it and paste it here. And if activity, if you want to use, drag and drop here. So this is a drag and drop UI. So you don't require any coding for Data Factory. Okay, and it is cost effective. It is very cheaper. It is more secure. We can schedule pipelines and all. So it supports CI/CD process. It can integrate with other services, Databricks, Synapse, and all. So that's why most enterprises are using Data Factory for building modern data pipelines. Okay, yeah. So this is what Data Factory means, guys.